Welcome, everyone. This is the Mother Hustler podcast. I'm your host, Kareen Mills, and I am blessed today because I've got my childhood friend, and we live in the same town. It's exciting to have her because we have not spoken in forever. But you know how they say when you know each other so well, um, and no matter how many years have gone by, when you reconnect, it's just like old times, right? And that's exactly what happened during our offline conversation before we got online here on the record. But welcome, Demi.
Hi, Kareen. Thank
How
you for
are you?
having me. I'm good. Thank you.
You're in Zurich, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And it is roughly a little past 8 a.m. there.
Sorry. Excuse me. I may cough a little bit in between because of my allergy. Yes, it is 8, 10, 8:15, something like that. Yeah.
So you're a
In the morning.
passionpreneur. You're very
That I
passionate
am.
about an industry.
Yes, I would say. I would say so.
What industry is that?
I'm in the beauty or the grooming industry.
Beauty.
And
So
grooming, yes.
it's called um, grooming in Zurich.
Not necessarily, right? It's a new coined word that started, I think, like 10 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Grooming. Grooming is basically like looking after yourself, like
Hmm.
doing the basics of beauty. It's not about doing all those extras. It's more about like having clean nails, having clean skin,
Right.
having nice hair, or like clean teeth or nice teeth, whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's great. When I heard grooming, because in America, when we hear grooming, it's a lot to do with pet grooming, you know.
Mhm. So it's
But I,
basically the same, right? Apply
yeah,
it to humans. Yeah.
exactly. But I do see your Instagram, and I get it. I get what you're doing. So tell me, or tell our listeners. I feel like I want you to tell me because
We haven't talked to each other for ages. That's right.
forever,
Yeah.
I think we haven't talked to each other until after, or since after we graduated high school.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because you
That's
went to
like forever
college.
ago. Yeah. When we went to different universities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where did you
Yeah.
go? Remind me.
We went to the University of the Philippines.
Is
I
is it just
stayed.
across the street? You
Yes, it
stay.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I went to University of San Carlos, right? The
Yes.
USC.
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
I
lost touch
stayed.
after high school. You stayed in the same school, and I went to another university.
That's true. And then after, I think then you went to the States. I went to Dubai after the university. And yeah, and now, wow,
So tell me, how did you
definitely.
get here?
Excuse me. Okay, so, okay, I went to Dubai, right? And I was working in the luxury and beauty industry. And then I met my husband now there through a mutual friend. And I was doing great. Yeah, I was at some point. It was more like a CEO, general manager of a company that specialized in distribution or brand management. And I was at that time having Essie. I don't know if you know Essie, right? The nail polish. The
Yeah.
Art of Shaving from New York, Vitamin from Australia. I had Relique from Australia, among other things. I mean, there were so many brands I was handling. Anyway, the job was very interesting. Unfortunately, I wasn't so happy with the owners. I didn't like the values, and I decided to quit. And I thought, like, yeah, maybe it's time. Um, I was then, I think, around 5 years in Dubai, and I thought, like, I think it's time to do an MBA. So because I want to move up, I want to learn more.
Hmm.
So I suddenly have a craving for going back to school. And then at that time, I was dating my husband, and he told me, why don't you try in Switzerland? Because if you're gonna go to, because I was planning to go to AIM, or the University of the Philippines, because they are quite well known in Asia business wise, business school wise. And AIM, I think, is dubbed as the Harvard of Asia. And I thought, like, yeah, maybe I should do it to name. And he said, no, please, then it would be difficult for us, because then when we were dating, he would fly in on weekends, you know?
Wow.
And yeah, he did that for a long time. And he said, like, look, that would be too far. Can you look into Switzerland? So I have been anyway visiting Switzerland. At that time, I thought, like, yeah, why not, right? So so anyway, before I resigned, I told my colleagues in the company I work with that I'm leaving. And then they said, hey, why don't we just like create a consultancy, because we all have the necessary skills to actually have a company that would help like entrepreneurs create grooming concepts. I am specialized in branding and management in general, and the other partners are good in project management, like technical training, skills training, whatever. And then I said, like, yeah, okay, sure. So before I resigned, I created a company called Illusione GmbH. It's a consultancy company. So basically what we do is, like, you're an investor interested in opening a concept in the beauty industry. You come to us and you tell us what you want, and then we create the full concept and set up the company for you, So we did that. I did that for like 1 or 2 years. Unfortunately, we don't share the same entrepreneurial spirit.
Was that still in Dubai?
Yeah, well, the company was actually licensed in Switzerland, but we operate in Dubai. We had already like potential clients, a lot of them. And but it took, my partners, they were not patient. And entrepreneurship is not something that you say, okay, I'm going to do it today and I'm going to be making money. It doesn't work like that, right? You need to establish yourself, create a foundation, create your client base. It takes time. It takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of patience. Patience I don't have, but somehow, I don't know, I made it, right?
A lot of
I just
hard
went with
work.
it. Yes.
Lots of hard work.
So they were very impatient, and I was funding the company then, and I thought, like, okay, this is not good. I'm paying them, and I shouldn't be paying them. But unfortunately, because at that time, if you're an employer in Dubai, you're supporting people. I was supporting people, my family, but still, these people were like, they had less than me, and I thought, okay, I'll pay you guys, but we make sure that we make money, and you pay me back or something like that.
Right.
But anyway, so I said, like, look, it's not working. If you guys are being paid by me and being impatient, and you're not helping, the growth. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll cut that. I really better concentrate on doing the MBA. Long story short, I applied here at the Swiss Business School in Zurich. I had an interview. I took an exam, and they accepted me.
Wow.
So I decided then, okay, it's time to go. So I came to Switzerland. I did my MBA. And I was like number 2 in the class, kind of.
School is so easy for us, right?
Yes, after all the hassle that we did, definitely.
We went to school like we went to work.
Yeah, that's true, totally. So yes, and then meantime, I was joking at that time with my boyfriend. He was boyfriend, and I said, hey, by the way, I'm gonna go to Switzerland. It's gonna be so expensive to do my nails, because you know how it is in the Philippines, right? Our parents do it every weekend on Saturdays. It's so cheap, and I kind of had it since I was like 9 years old. I think I had my first manicure, and I got addicted to it. I get so used to it. In Dubai, I do it twice a week.
Wow.
I have my hair done. I had my nails done. It has to be there. It has to be clean.
Well, it's your industry.
No, yes and no. It's also the Filipino thing. I don't know if you've changed, but I think it's a Filipino thing, right? We always have that nail thing, like
I just clean my nails, but
yeah, that's okay too. That's okay too. But then, as you said, I'm on the vanity industry, and but so I was doing my nails, I was doing my hair, I was doing my basically my grooming regimen, right? And it's expensive in Switzerland, Sorry.
She's a little
so when
sick,
I came,
guys.
so I'm so sick. Sorry, I had to cough in between. So anyway, I came here, and I went to like different places, like really high end. but I was never happy. You know, I was never happy because it's not because they do it badly. It's because they do it different. Do you understand? The way they
No, I
clean,
get
the way they
it.
put nail polish. Just, I know it sounds so silly, but also they don't have that warmth and hospitality that I'm used to, right? I come into a place, I've been going there, spending a lot of money. I'm still a number to them, you know? And I'm used to Dubai or the Philippines where you say, "Hey, Miss Demees, is it the same today? You know, they know my color. They know everything about me.
They
They
know,
care." And you see the
yes.
warmth, you know?
I get it. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So I saw that as lacking here. And I know there's a lot of expats having the same issues, right? So after the MBA, I think my husband then proposed. And at the same time, I got offers to go back to the Middle East. You know,
Wow.
there was one of the offers was to become a CEO of a company in Kuwait. But I thought like, oh my God, Kuwait, no, I can't. Sorry, excuse me again. I have to drink water, coffee. Hold it. Oh. So, and then still in the same industry. And then I thought like, I can't. And I kept applying for a job here. But then, because I don't have any experience in the country, so they kind of like put me in the junior management. And at that time I was young and I was too proud. I'm like, no, I was already at the executive management. Why should I go down? You know what I mean? A management trainee.
Yeah. Just
When I
starting
already,
fresh.
yeah, and I'm like, I already run like 2,500 people under me. And why am I suddenly being put as junior manager? So I thought like, no, I can't. And I thought there was always the gap, right? So I thought like, why don't I open my own grooming concept? So yes, that's how Unique is born. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and also, right, one of the motivating factor, like, yeah, lacking of warmth, hospitality, and people are nice in Switzerland. They are not just the friendliest, right? And you find expats in that all those events, and I thought like, nah, it's not really the right place to connect with people, to get to know people. I thought, okay, Unique is gonna be some place where people can meet, can connect socially or business wise.
Wow.
And it has to be a place where people feel good, feel warm. It's like a little mini holiday in the middle of the city. At the same time, we have great like service, great treatments. People will come in and feel happy and just relax. Yeah, here people are always in a hurry. They're too serious. Everything is numbered. Which is not a bad thing, which I think is a good thing. But sometimes it can be too much that you actually stop being happy and joyful.
I
You know what
know.
I mean?
It's the same way in America.
Sorry.
It's fast paced and there's no
Yeah.
time to pause. And if people just
Yeah.
take time to pause, I mean,
Totally.
you would be so much happier.
So yeah, and then so that's how Unique was born. And it was a serious struggle because Zurich, as much as it is international, it's like a little town. Everybody knows everybody, and I know no one,
Oh,
right? I started zero.
wow.
And we invested so much money because of the interior and everything. And I was taken aback by the fixed overhead cost, like all the insurances that I have to pay among other things, and like
Yeah.
employees and blah blah. I was not ready for this because when I was working in Dubai, right, I didn't have to pay tax. Like I had everything done for me, and I didn't have to go hands
Welcome
on. I just tell
to
people what to do.
entrepreneurship.
I know. I mean, right? I know. I mean, well, we always have these little businesses in the Philippines. It is with the food, whatever.
Right.
But this is totally different ball game. It's
I
like
know.
wow.
It's
So I was like,
legit.
oh man, it's legit.
Not that we weren't legit, but we
I
could get
know, but
away
it's
with
like
so much over
I
there.
know, right? I mean, here everything is formal, everything is accounted for, and in Switzerland, unfortunately, entrepreneurs are not well protected. I would say that. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this is a very sensitive topic, but Unique has been like operating 8 years, and I don't know how many pregnancies I have to sponsor. And I mean, I hire my people according to personality because I believe skills can be improved, personality you can't.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, because I'm very nice, yeah, um, you know, people take me for granted or take advantage, right? And it has been a very tough journey. But luckily, I've also developed a strong following of loyal customers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I already have employees trying to steal my customers, trying to steal, among other things. Like so many things has happened this 8 years. And but I held on, and I stayed true to myself. And people tell me, "Oh, you should be a bit bitchy and blah blah." I said, "No, I mean, I'm not gonna change myself. So so I mean, so others will follow my heed. That's not how it is, right?
Good for you. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm gonna be miserable. I don't want to be miserable. I am me. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to feel disappointed, but I want to stay I want to stay, genuine, right? To who I
Yeah.
am, to my values. Yeah, it's in the end, it's their loss. They take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's their problem. So anyway, yes, I stayed on, and anyway, along these years, I got no, even before that, I actually got obsessed with eyelashes. You know why? I think you know why. Sorry. Sorry, really. Anyway, so yes. When I got married, I had my eyelashes done,
Uh-huh.
and I saw the transformation. I'm like, oh my God, I look different. I never look tired. So I got obsessed. But when I opened Unique, it was basically focused on grooming, right? So we did basic like manicure, pedicure, spa, manicure, face treatments, body treatments, some other things, right? And then one of my employee, the manager, I told her like, hey, listen, I mean, do you know how to do lashes? Because it's so expensive. There were only like a few places that did it here. And I think I had to pay 700 Swiss francs. Can you
Wow.
imagine? And I'm like, I'm not gonna
Plus you
pay
have to
700.
refill it.
A refill is like 350.
Wow.
That's like every 2 weeks for me. And I'm like, I am not spending that much money. And I thought, like, since I have the business, might also take advantage of the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of not take advantage, more like maximize. So, and then she said, like, yes, I actually do. And in fact, she did a training, blah blah. I said, okay, you know what? Can you do it for me? So it started with me.
Wow.
She ordered products. We did it. And it was great. People start noticing, and they say, hey, what is that? And I'm like, yeah, it's extension. Oh, can we have it too?
That's great.
Um, so it started
Wow.
there, but then people my staff get sick and blah blah blah, and the products that we were using is not the best, and there were problems. And I thought, okay, let's find another one. And I thought, okay, there was a local brand that just launched then, and I thought, okay, let's try this brand. And I trained. I said, because normally, I mean, well, let me go back. I'm so bad at storytelling. So I told you, right, that I'm not happy how to do it, right? I opened Unique because of that and the
Mm-hmm.
hospitality thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, let me put in my own standard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, like, I know the Swiss, they're very meticulous. They are very, can I use, yeah, I'm not, can I use the word, whatever. So they are very meticulous and particular. Okay, better word. And they are everything. You have to have diploma, right? I thought, okay,
Wow.
I have an MBA. I know what I want. I'm a professional customer. I also have a technical background because of the products that I manage, but I don't have the proper education for it, right? After the MBA, I went to school for beauty here.
You love your school.
Yeah, I do love my school, right? So I went, sorry, I went to beauty school here, and then yeah, I learned everything, right? And so I could tell my employees with authority, you know, on how to do the services,
Mm-hmm.
the standard, for example,
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, where am I again? Where did I go back to this?
You
I
you
got,
can,
okay, right,
well,
right. I
it's
get
the
it now.
eyelashes.
Yeah. So
You can
basically,
manage them better.
so basically, yes. So anyway, when that new brand came, and I thought, yeah, well, we have to train you because they have a different way of doing it, blah, blah. I said, okay, sure. So I went to the training, right? I actually got it in like a minute. And then she said like, oh my God, you already know how to do it. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know how, but yeah, I did, right? And then
It's not that
anyway,
hard.
yeah, but it's actually not that easy either. It sounds so easy, but it takes passion, like
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. So let's go back. and then one day I said, okay, but I'm not doing this because I think I don't have the patience for it because it takes long and takes like 2 hours.
Wow.
So my employee one day got sick, and by then we charged 350 per hour. I'm like, hey, I mean, I cannot say no to the customer. I don't want to lose the customer, and it's 350 an hour. So I decided to do it, and this day that's when I officially fell in love
Wow.
because we discussed we're hyperactive. We
Yep.
couldn't stop thinking. This was the only time I could totally focus on something and have,
Wow.
like, I couldn't think of anything else.
It's like a break from everything, from the
Yes, from
world.
everything, totally. And what's beautiful is the result. Money is something, but the gratification of seeing someone so happy, like transforming a person, and this is the constant prize I get when I do it.
Kind of
You
like
know?
your transformation from
Yes,
during your wedding when you had your extensions
I was
and you
like,
were
oh my
like, oh
God,
my
who is
gosh.
this?
Yeah,
Who is this?
exactly.
Hello,
Good to
Yeah.
meet you.
So this is like the women, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I look like this. I mean, you're such a goddess. Everybody calls me the goddess. And I'm like, yeah, well, you already have it. I just had to kind of enhance it. And just how a timid person turned into someone, I don't know, like
Super
it's
confident.
just, yeah, it's just like,
Yes.
for me, it's just wow. That's when I get super obsessed. And then from then on, I started, well, anyway, I said to myself during when the time I got my lashes done, because I wasn't so happy, I did it in Hong Kong. And the way they do it and the products, I was like, something has to be changed. I was already doing some research about the product. I was already thinking of developing my own, but I haven't really kind of dig into it, put my foot into it. That's the time that I said, okay, Jenny, have the time to kind of really like look into this and develop new things, because then it was so expensive to buy the product, the training, and everything. I thought, yeah. So I think there's a big gap in the industry. People are not doing it because I think there were not good products and the techniques being used were not good. Lashes gets damaged and other things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how the obsession started, and then I kept
Wow.
doing it. I developed new system because in school you are taught basically the same technical things, but I developed my own system. I call it the step system, where
Wow.
because in Zurich we have a diverse um, clientele, right? I mean, we have like the executives, like CEOs, entrepreneurs. I also have the artist. I also have the fashion designer, the bloggers, models, or the student. So I learned to create my own system, my customize the design according to each person.
Mm.
And I also look into like how to prevent damaging natural lashes. So I
Hmm.
and we analyze and like what is the diameter and the length that we put on a certain natural lashes. So we have that kind of science behind it.
Wow.
So yeah, and the
That's
personality of the
that's
person and other
amazing.
things. Yes.
That's great. We talked about how people are so afraid to take a step
Mm-hmm.
because of making a mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if people would just take those steps, like what you're doing is you're finding solutions to
Mm-hmm.
any kind of you're overcoming things by creating and developing your own system. But if
Mm-hmm.
people would just see the flip side of that and take a step and say, hey, I'm going to uncover a system here by going through
Mm-hmm.
it, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
the difference between a person that has an employee mindset
Mm-hmm.
and the person with an entrepreneurial spirit. Because when an employee mindset would always think about the negative and would always think about like they don't want to fail or they don't want to make mistake, but the
I don't.
entrepreneurial
Mm-hmm.
mindset always has that thrill of the hunt. We're so excited. We get
Mm-hmm.
really excited about the thrill of uncovering things.
That's true. I would say employee mindset, not necessarily negative, right? But I think they are by the book. You don't think beyond what is being given to them. I think for me, entrepreneurs are people who always who doesn't see problems. They only see the challenge of finding solutions.
Yeah.
You know, we are solutions oriented, just put it that way. You know,
Yeah.
we don't dwell on certain issues because we think it's just a waste of time, right? To worry or to dwell on something. You're just like, okay, this happened. I'll look for something that could change this situation and move forward. You
Yeah.
know?
We only see opportunities.
Yes. Yeah, I have my moments, I must admit, that I'm like, oh God, what am I doing, right?
You
Why am
do
I doing this to
question.
myself?
That's
Yes, I
healthy.
do.
It's healthy to do that,
Yeah.
to
I
question
mean,
sometimes what you're doing.
yeah, I mean, as much as you love what you do, sometimes, like, for example, you know, my situation right now, I have in Lausanne and in Zurich. I had, maybe that's why I'm also very sick because of this. Sorry. I had to travel 6 hours every day to go to
Wow.
Lausanne for like almost a month now, I think. Yes.
Is that
And
another
6 days a
city?
week. It is so far. It's 3 hours. Yeah, it's in the French part.
Wow.
And yeah, it has been challenging there because obviously I don't speak French. I didn't speak German, by the way, when I started. I learned it eventually. But French is totally different ball game. I just couldn't pronounce things. I can only
So
miss. But
why
bonjour.
Lausanne?
Okay, Lausanne is with Tally Beauty. It's a very big partnership, actually. Tally Vale is the biggest fashion brand in Switzerland. They are like akin to H&M.
Uh-huh.
They have, no, actually not just, well, now they have around the world, they have like around maybe 2,000 stores.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge company. And so they started to create the beauty concept, but that's not their field. So they kind of, the management of the concept is being outsourced, you know. So Lausanne, they approached me. Um, uh, and I said, okay, sure, why not? And it looks like an interesting city for me because I went there. We already did test beauty days, and it was quite cool. And I thought, like, yeah, it's like a city that I could potentially do business with because there's also a lot of expats. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of school there. I don't know if you heard of it. One of the best hotel schools in the world is in Lausanne.
A what school?
Hotel school,
Wow.
AHL, I think. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Sorry, I have to drink.
Wow. So they
So
approached you, and what is your
and
role
then
in it?
what's my role? So basically, I own the store, I own the
Mm-hmm.
shop, the beauty shop, but they own the brand. So it's a cooperation because they do the marketing, they do the
I
branding.
see.
It's a bit of a co-branding because I told them, hey, listen, I'm not gonna operate under you without me being known, right? So it is a cooperation with Unique Beauty because I created a new concept called Unique Beauty. This is for white label
Wow.
for concepts like this. And we also have our own brand, beauty line. So
Mm-hmm.
I have,
In the store.
yes, I
Oh,
also sell
wow.
it somewhere else. I mean,
That's so awesome.
I have not sold it. I will send you some. It's really cool. The original plan with this was, again, associated to my dream. I think I didn't mention that. I've always dreamed to have a foundation in the Philippines. I've been doing that charity thing since I was young. And it's been 20 years now that I've been solid doing it. In Liluan, you know, I do medical mission, dental mission. I give, like, I feed kids and whatever whenever I go home. Um, so
That's
I
so
thought, like,
beautiful,
yeah,
Demi.
I told you, I don't know, I think I mentioned offline, right, that that's a motivating factor for the Demees brand. Because I said, look, I cannot just give these people fish. I need to teach them how to fish. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many single mothers in our country. They don't have support. They have kids. The kids they cannot send to good school because they don't have the money, obviously. And then the cycle just gets vicious cycle, right? Continue. I said, okay, it has to stop. I wanted to create this foundation focused on training these women, you know, to learn skills in beauty and also to give them a job. So the Unique Beauty thing was originally planned. The product was originally planned to have the coconut oil as base, and the Philippines is known for the virgin oil, right? And
Yes.
I wanted to open that kind of that I want to have not a factory, a place where we could create like virgin coconut oil, use that virgin coconut oil as a base for the products of Unique Beauty.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So Unique Beauty though, we had our first batch, and we're not using yet the coconut oil. It's not yet really the final product. That's
Mm-hmm.
why right now, my friends are telling me, why don't you sell it somewhere else? Because it really is a great product. I said, yeah, but I'm not yet happy, right? I want everything perfect before I kind of go global with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically right now it's only within our store. I have been asked actually by some online stores here, to sell
Mm-hmm.
through their platform, but I'm not ready. So I said no. If I do it, I do it right.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's co-branding with Tally then. So I have all my brands. It's known. They also co-promote us.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, because Tally is, I told you, international, right? And they could be a very could be an efficient vehicle for me to go global.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Absolutely.
that's that's and plus they already have this like very high footfall of customers.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
you open
great.
something there's already like traffic. So I thought, like, sorry, it's almost foul proof, right? But in entrepreneurial journey, nothing is ever going as planned.
No, never.
Luzon turned
It
out to
never
be.
does.
Oh God! But Luzon, no matter how brilliant your business plan, your statistics, among other things, it just doesn't work that way, right? We are dealing with human minds. So anyway, so Luzon has been very challenging. We have issue with employees. My language, the language barrier, but I'm starting to overcome that. Somehow I always find a way. I always
Yeah.
find a way, right?
So you talk about your mission trips and you want to
Mm-hmm,
help single mothers.
mm-hmm,
What's funny is one of my whys, we always have this why. Why do we get up every day? Why do we keep growing?
mm-hmm,
Why do we work so hard? Sometimes we work for nothing, but we know that
mm-hmm,
eventually
mm-hmm.
down the road that it will always come around, because as Filipinos we believe in that everything goes around in circles and we were
That's true.
raised that way. So one of my why is to also get a foundation going. And it's funny, when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you said education. My
Yes.
foundation name, I actually already have the name. It's called Maming Foundation. That's my grandma's
Mm-hmm,
nickname.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And the reason for that is she was always, she taught us by showing
mm-hmm,
us that she
mm-hmm,
was always helping people, and she was an educator
mm-hmm,
um, by trade. She
mm-hmm.
she always leads with like stories with moral lessons. She always taught
Mm-hmm.
kids about moral lessons, and there's a lot of people that comes, or even people I come across with, that says, your grandma always told us a story and it always made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, less fortunate kids that parents can't afford to go to college. But this
Yeah.
is awesome. I love it. But where did this come from in your past? Like, why are you so passionate about it? What has
Well,
happened in your past that may have contributed to this passion?
I mean, come on, we are, we are from the same town. You see that everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sister is lucky. She's a single mother. Lucky that she has me and my other sister to support her. And you see this happening around the neighborhood. And I thought, like, okay, I mean, these people, they don't know anything better, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything better. They don't know any better on how to to live their life. I don't know how to improve their life. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're just living this in this little small town. They never really get out. They don't have dreams. They're watching all the telenovelas. We're being poor and being, you know. I
It's
mean,
so
it's okay,
true.
and I don't watch them. I mean,
No.
I always tell luckily, I've
My
been telling my family, never watch
Yes,
this.
yes, yes.
You are being brainwashed to be poor and to be, I don't know, to be like the poor one. And it's also, I'm sorry to say, and I'm a Catholic and I believe in God strongly, but somehow in our, if you look
Culture.
back, if you really, we are in the Catholic belief, like we are believed to be like the oppressed are the
Mm-hmm.
blessed. It's not
Yep.
like that. You can be blessed and then you can help others.
Well, you have
You know.
to fill your cup. Like I've seen this on your social media that I think
Mm-hmm.
we agree. that self-care allows you to help more people.
Yes, I mean, I think this is also another thing that I've noticed. Like I've noticed from my mother, because she sometimes, bless her, and I love her, but she sometimes gets bitter, and she thinks that I'm still a child, that she wants to control me. I said I'm not. And in UP we are trained to answer back. In our culture, we're not allowed to reason out at all, even if we are right. We're not allowed to talk. But you know how it is in UP, right? We are taught to kind of defend our
you have to stand up. You have to stand
exactly
up for what you believe in.
Exactly. I mean, so, and I see that like with her, she really hasn't gotten over that. I mean, and she says like sometimes like, yeah, you don't listen to me, and I give up everything for you, and blah blah. Right? I told her, hey, listen, I'm grateful. You did that, but you made that choice. And I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just telling you that this is how I think about certain things. You know what I'm saying.
No, I get it.
And I see some parents even here how they become so bitter, they become so agitated because they focus so much on. I mean, it's good to be a mom and to love your children, right?
Always.
But you need to have love for yourself first.
Yeah.
Because the moment you lose that, you lose everything. You're not going to be
sister.
as loving as you think you will be, because then suddenly you're shouting, you're getting angry. You know what I mean?
So this is so true. So true.
No, so I see this. I mean, it's a culture. I see this in my family, like where, we have to give everything to the children, like everything. Like, so many families, they give up. The parents just don't have anything. They give everything to the child. The child doesn't understand the value then of hard work, of money. Then they just squander it, because they don't know anything anyway. They're just like, yeah, it's there. My parents will always give me something, So I wanted to change that. I said, okay, it's very important. And this is what I learned from that childhood, right? That important to love yourself if you can love others. Because if you're so full of love of yourself, and that love, you give a love that's overflowing from you, you never run out. You never run out, But if you keep on giving,
they say that's how you can give from a full cup. You
totally.
have to fill
the overflow.
Up.
Yeah, the overflow of the cup. Because then, you know what I mean? So for me, I mean, I'm a better mother when I have time to be myself, or to be with myself, than when I am always around them. And also for them, I also sometimes, I must admit, like being a mother and an entrepreneur is a totally challenging thing. And I gave birth, I had to go back to work. It was heartbreaking for me. It was hard. I cried a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, what a bad mother I am. I have those moments, right? Especially when they're sick, you just like, you can't concentrate. And when I was breastfeeding, and I'm like, oh my God, my child is hungry and I'm here, I used to cry, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I have some clients that tell me like, hey, listen, that we grew up, they said that they grew up with their mother always around, but I think you're doing a good job, because then they never really appreciate their mom, because they always see their mom that she's always angry.
She's always angry. But
because, hey, what are you doing? Yeah.
I had a guest here that is a practicing attorney. And she said something that was really profound for me, because she says that it's really a difficult balance to try and be an entrepreneur and a mom at this, like a really hands-on mom at the same time, because it's hard to do both at the same time, but you do your best. And she said that the one thing that she feels good about going after her dreams is that her daughter, our kids, suck it all in. They learn from what we do. And so if all we do, if we shattered our dreams and don't go for them, that's also not a great example for our children. And so you just do whatever you can do and do the best you can. And so there's two parts of my podcast. Is to really validate the moms like you and me that are going for it, and that it's okay. Sometimes we feel like a bad mom. And sometimes another guest of mine said, sometimes you think you're present with your children, but you're really not, because you're on the phone or you're on your phone. And then you don't really hear them when they talk to you. I think the only thing that we have to do as a mom is that we shouldn't feel bad about going after our dreams, But at the same time, when it's time to be mom, we need to focus to be mom, right? There is always that hard balance, but we can do it. We don't do it perfectly, but we can do it.
I think the quest for perfection for me is the root cause of all frustration. So I try not to focus so much on trying to be perfect. You know what I mean? I just make the best out of what I have.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Well, the kids, as you heard me earlier, I promised them, because this morning, like, oh, mommy, you promised to bake. I told them, like, okay, give mommy 1 hour and then we're gonna bake. You know, I
so
try.
Cool.
Yeah, I try to play with them, and I always remind them how much they're loved. And I actually really talk to them like adults. I explain to them why I'm working, because they ask me, right? It's that age now. It's like, why are you working so much? Why do you have to do this and do that? You know. So I explained. Yes.
You have to talk and communicate with them like you do with adults.
Sorry. Yes.
That's so what I do to my kids too.
So they understand. And
that's
about
great.
Also helping poor people in the end, you know, they're trained since they're a child, they're babies. Like Oliver's always been excited every time we go home. Mommy, are we gonna feed kids again? You know, are we gonna give rice again? And so he understands, you know, he understands that, okay, the world is not just about us. We are so lucky to have everything we have, and it, you know, it requires money to live comfortably like you do, what we do. So mommy is doing something. Yes, that's why I said mommy is doing something, so mommy can make a difference, you know. And
it's so great to hear that, Demees, because I did, when we go home to the Philippines, I do that to my kids too, because I don't know about Zurich or Switzerland, but here in America there's a lot of people that complain a lot about their situation compared to where you and I come from is they're rich situation. Yes. And yes, it's not the same. It's like comparing apples to apples. I get it.
Yes.
But I always say, when I was in banking and I had really wealthy clients, and I was 26 years old when I was a banker, they would always ask me why I'm such a go-getter at a young age, and how they could convince their kids not to waste away money and do all that. So I always tell them, look, the thing that I can say to you is that I grew up in the Philippines, so I know the difference, and I work hard because of where I came from. But I think you should send your kids to the third world countries so they can see.
Teach them.
It teaches them that they have a lot, and that they should give because they have a lot. Well, you don't even have to force them to give, because when they see the situation
it's automatic. We're humans, right?
Exactly. We're compassionate.
Yes. Yeah, we're compassionate. Yes.
That's so cool. I love that. So you talk about your mom. Does she live there?
Yes, she's living with me.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Sorry. I have a little one quickly. Sorry.
Remind me your mom's name.
It's Emerita. Mama
Emerita.
Yes.
That's so cool. So you have your mom, even though you are out hustling and you're away from your children sometimes, you got your mom to take care of them.
That's what gives me the confidence, right? Somehow the assurance that, yes, it's okay. You know, it somehow eases the burden, you know, or the guilt. I know that they are being loved, and I'm lucky. I would say I'm fortunate that all the nannies that worked with us really love the kids.
That's so cool. So the question for you about your mom, what lesson did you learn from your own mom that you have or will pass on to your children?
I think life is what we make it. I remember she told me that when I was like, I don't know, very young. It's stuck in my head.
It's stuck in your head.
Yeah, it's like life is what you make it. She always tells me that. So that's like stuck in my head.
Wow, that's so cool.
Sorry. And my kids, I would say, the values that I'm giving them still the Filipino values. Huh? I made sure that we go home every year. They understand where I come from. You know, and they get to see also, as you said earlier, right, about first world children. I can't blame them, right? we obviously, our problems are different depending on our how we grew up,
Mm-hmm.
environment we
Mm-hmm.
grew up in. And this
Yep.
is this is what I'm trying to change. I teach them, I teach them how to be grateful, and how to be kind and generous, um, how to be very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I am doing that as well at work in Unique. Huh?
Yeah.
All these women, they love coming to me. They actually love talking to me
Mm-hmm.
because I give them different perspective,
Yep.
and yeah, I would plug in, I can plug in, talk about the Demees brand. This is one of the core, I would say, the USP for me, okay? Not on maybe on a business perspective. Because I told you, right? Every product you buy, part of it, all the revenues, just say, part of the revenues, right, will go to the charity, to the foundation.
Wow.
So I
All
make
of it.
sure, not all. I mean, obviously we have overhead cost, right? Company
Right.
has to
Right.
be
Right.
even,
You have to pay bills
we are still
first.
working. We are working on the perfect balance, like the percentage. It's not a pure social brand, but it is definitely also committed to the
Mm-hmm.
foundation, because the foundation will be called to me as well. And
Mm-hmm.
even my stakeholders, like my business partner, committed part of his salary to the foundation.
Mm.
Like,
Wow.
that's how we do it.
Wow.
It's great for the first world children to teach them, it's better than fair trade.
Yeah.
um, that they spend on something and at the same time make a difference, and it will be part of our
Wow.
campaign. It's one of the, core
That's
value of the brand.
amazing. I love it.
So
I love it.
yes, yeah, that's why I'm so excited, really. You can't believe how excited I am
That's
to do
great.
this.
So the other part, my vision is two-part: to validate you and me, because we go
Mm-hmm.
through our issues. We go through our demons, right? We all
Yes.
have demons in our with ourselves, and all these stuff that every single one of us have issues with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other piece is to inspire other moms,
Mm-hmm.
right, that are quite scared and are not quite there yet to take the leap of becoming a mother, and an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. And the the what was I gonna say? The
It's about
future that
validation.
Yeah, and the future that I'm seeing with the podcast is that one day our kids are going to be parents, or they're
Mm-hmm.
going to become adults, and they're going to be able to hear you in your
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
So I want you to ask you this question. What would you say to your kids if they were listening to this episode?
Oh, oh my God.
Because they will get a hold of it one day.
Yes, you're right. You know that everything that I do, right? Basically, they are my greatest joy. They are my source of inspiration. I'm not doing this for me. I want them to be proud of me. I want to leave a legacy that they could be proud of. Because as I said, they grow up with so privileged, right? I mean, we are so privileged, even compared to the average people. I mean, people here. And yeah, it's for me, life is not just about us, right? Of course they come first when push comes to shove, and if I have to choose, they definitely will come first. But I know
Mm-hmm.
that they are loved anyway. They are being looked after. That's why I am trying to do something that touches lives. Yes, basically that's it. I don't know what to say. I just want them to be proud of me. I just want
That's
them
great.
to, I mean, to be. I also want them to be good people. I want to give a very good example to them, right? To
Okay.
to be selfish.
So the answer to this question might be the same, but I'm going to ask it anyways because I ask it to every single one of my guests.
Sure.
So at the end of all your journey, you're on your deathbed. Your entire life flashes right in front of you. You've accomplished everything. You have left no stones unturned. You killed it in life like you're already killing it right now. You have
I'm not killing it.
everything. You have everything you've ever wanted, and your kids ask you this question, their last question. Mom, what are the top 3 things you're proud of accomplishing as a mother? What would those 3 things be? Not as a business owner, not as a
As a mother.
passionpreneur, as a mother.
Hmm. Hmm. Top 3. Wow. That's a very, I couldn't really think right now, but I don't know, right? I can't think right now. As a mother, I think I would be proud to raise them with certain values, the value of giving, and the value of being kind. Oh, what else, man? I can't think right now. As a mother, this is really difficult for me, because I think basically I answered it, right?
Yeah, you did.
I
That's why I
did,
said
right?
this might be
They
the
answered.
same.
Answered it, right? As a
Hmm.
mother, like, yeah, because I left them a legacy that they could be proud
Yep.
of, and I mean, they will never be lucky. They know, right? Anyway, they know that they are raised with love, and I mean,
Right.
it's a given. I don't even think that, because I know that every day they are being shown love. I don't know, every moment that I'm with them.
That's so cool.
So that's I don't know. Yeah. So basically, yes. I think I've answered that before.
Yeah, you did. It's very
Yeah.
similar. Now, what is your definition of a mother hustler?
Is someone who could do both, obviously, I mean, someone who never stopped trying. um I would say,
Cool.
well, today I can't really think, right? Mother,
You're
I
sick.
haven't the thing is, oh no, it's not just that. I think, the thing is with motherhood, I think it's an advantage, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I learned how to be extremely good at multitasking the moment I became a mother. I really tell you. No, I'm not joking. Because when you
I
just think about
agree. That's
yourself,
why
and
I laughed.
that's why I don't see it as something that it should be an asset, actually. If you're a
Mhm.
mother, it should be easier for you to be a hustler, because
Yes.
you're hustling anyway every
Amen,
day.
sister.
No, seriously, this is what people are telling me. How are you managing it? You have kids. I'm like, actually, they taught me how to be very good at multitasking, and not to dwell on small stuff, not to sweat on small stuff, because
Yes.
you need to
Yes.
find solution. If they hurt themselves, you need to immediately find ways to cure that. You don't think of, like, oh, what happened. You know what I mean. It's just like
Did you
it's
hear my
it's.
podcast today with Carol Walsh?
I have to listen to it
Okay,
later.
that's
Yes.
episode 2, and she talked about this. She talked
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
because sometimes there's parents or mom, because this is mother centric. This is the topic is mom.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's moms that don't value themselves enough
Mhm.
when they go
No.
out to go start their own
Mhm.
venture, their entrepreneurial journey.
Mhm.
And she says, if you look at running a household, it's like running a company. You
Oh,
have kids,
even more challenging.
it's, yeah, conflict resolution,
Because the
like
others are like, sorry, I cut you
budgeting,
off. Mm-hmm.
like you have the components of running a company,
Mm-hmm.
managing people, that's your kids, right? Manage your husband, right?
That's right.
Your whole entire household you're managing. And I think because she says, because society doesn't put a value in
Value.
it,
No,
just
we
because
should.
society don't do that, we should. But I love that there's a theme there that you also say, and you're like all the way over in Europe. So motherhood is a language, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
common. We understand it and we know what it is. So before we go, I want to congratulate you with everything that you've accomplished in your success, and I commend you for going after your dreams and continue to even expand your business. Um, I have enjoyed watching you on social media, growing brand, growing your grooming company, and now expanding to beauty products, and now expanding to a company that is charitable based,
Mm-hmm.
which is such a beautiful thing. So I want to acknowledge you for all that. And the cool part is we were childhood friends. We went to high school together. And it's just like old times when we talk.
Yeah, that's true.
It seems like there's never been a gap in the years that we've spoken. So thank you so much for gracing me with your time today. I appreciate it. Even though
And
you're
thank
sick.
you. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry for coughing on your ears.
That's okay.
Like I'm very proud of you as well. You know, I've also watched you grow, and I couldn't be more proud and be inspired. Yes, and I really look forward to your visit here. You should come visit us.
Yes. One
You
of
would
these
totally
days I'm
love
gonna have to
Switzerland.
show up and go hang out and get groomed at
Yeah.
your groom place.
Oh, just hang out. You know, it's really nice here. It's really relaxing. So
Cool.
yes, thank you so much, and
You're welcome.
to all the mothers, keep hustling.
Yes. Oh, can you tell
Yes.
them where they can find you on social media and online, all that other stuff?
Okay, so basically, you can I have my personal. By the way, my personal Instagram is if you see, it's a bit daring, right? It's a bit being bold. You know why it is like that? You know, I have to tell this little story, right? So we grew up in the Philippines. I've always been different. You know it. I've always had this, you know, big boobs and everything. And so somehow I always felt like bad about that. And it's not my fault that I'm born like this. It's about also body shaming, about being comfortable in your own skin. And it's about being bold in general, you know, to be you. You know, we are all unique. We need to celebrate that, you know. And we're all here. We contribute to the future, right? So
Mhm.
so that's one of the key things why it is a bit bold, and it's inspiring. I mean, if you read the content, you know, it's not just about the pictures, you know, there's always a story behind everything, right? And yeah, it's also because of my I have my own line, the unique curves. It's still happening somewhere around.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have for the curves. Yeah, it's about body shaming.
You have
And anyway, so
you have to embrace yourself and be
yes,
comfortable under
exactly.
your
I
own
mean, I'm
skin.
sorry. This is me, and I can't change that.
Yep.
Oh, I can do surgery, but no. Anyway, that's also open later, maybe. But anyway, so yes, they can find me. My personal page right now. It will be converted anyway later on. But it's unique.zurich in Instagram, and also I have the unique beauty Zurich. That's for the business in Zurich, and then I have the Tally Beauty Lausanne. And they can find me at www.u-nick.ch. Yes, I think that's
That's
it for now,
awesome.
but there will be more coming.
Follow her
Yes.
on Instagram. She has 10,000 followers and growing. Congratulations for
Thank
every
you.
feat you've won, right? It's
Thank you so much.
always a fight. We will never stop fighting.
No, yeah, every day will always be a fight. And I think that's what makes life beautiful, you
Exactly.
know.
All
And
right,
being so
Demi,
quiet
I
is
can't
boring.
wait. I can't wait to hang out with you and see you one of these days, but soon.
Cheers. Thank
All
you.
right. See you,
Bye.
girlfriend. Bye.
See you. Bye.